Okay, so hopefully third time's a charm. I've been trying to record this over and over and it seems to not want to work. Alright, so my name is Stacy Akins and I am going to do the career profile of a high school counselor. The organization that I looked at was actually a local high school, Round Rock High School here in Texas. I did not have a specific person that I spoke to simply because now is the time when it gets a little bit crazy. Finals are in session. They are trying to get these students' grades up or maintaining their higher grades. So a lot of the counselors were quite busy. So I went to the internet and I searched the internet, and actually a couple of the websites that I looked at were, one was www.masters-education.com. Another one was teaching.monster.com, and then another was just the Round Rock High School, the Round Rock ISD High School webpage. The working environment that I found was that it was constantly changing. There are constants. There are things that happen on a regular basis, like schedule changes and weekly meetings, but there's also different challenges each day depending on what's happening that day. Another thing that I realized was that letters of recommendation are going to always have to be written for scholarships, for college applications, for job applications. So each counselor needs to remember to be very confident in their writing skills as well as their communication skills, because it's very difficult to try and write a letter of recommendation for a student that you really don't know. Typical stressors for a job as a high school counselor would probably be at certain times of the year, the timing would have to be kind of crazy. At the beginning of the year when school is in session and everything starts, what's going to happen is there's going to be several students, if not more than just a few, that are going to want schedule changes, that are going to need to drop classes, add classes, and as counselors, that's something that needs to be required of a counselor. Also, the times get a little bit more stressful during when college applications are due, when scholarship applications are due, and usually around graduation time when students are looking for letters of recommendation for jobs as well. I have found that school counselors are often represented by the same union that represents the school teachers, so the benefits are going to be about the same. School counselors usually have the same negotiating advantages of the union as school teachers. A common job task is for high school counselors to be there to provide guidance and setting students back on the path to meeting their academic goals and helping them with their personal and social goals as well. I've also found that in order to be a high school counselor, you will need to be licensed and certified by your state, whatever state you're in, and you can find out what requirements are for your state by going to AmericanSchoolCounselorAssociation.com. Most states, you must attain a bachelor's degree, and in fact there are several states that require a master's degree as well. I have read that during your undergraduate work, classes they recommend would be human growth and development, child psychology, sociology, and cultural anthropology. As mentioned before, you need to be able to write and communicate as well. So taking a communications class, not only in speaking and listening and interview skills, but your writing as well. I was unable to find a starting and experienced salary range for a high school counselor, but I did find a median range. In 2010, the median salary for school counselors was about $60,000. I don't think that that's here in the state of Texas, but it's the median nationwide. School counselors do work full-time, but they get their summers off, and whenever school is not in session, they are off as well. I didn't find any miscellaneous career information that would be helpful at this time, and I hope that you learned a little bit about being a high school counselor. Thanks for listening.